Because you might ask for one thing and it's something totally different than the value that that's going to make a difference for you and the whole organization. And that's our main piece, is finding that value piece. And we're only going to do it if we have good relationships.
Then passion. You really have to be passionate about what you're doing, and it has to come naturally. There's no one that's going to infuse it in you. It has to come from you. It has to come naturally. Your willingness to learn. You have to be adaptable. You must be willing to learn and grow, because it is a leadership development. I think there is leadership development in it as well. So being able to learn is extremely important, because then you're actually able to adjust your ways into making sure that the profession and even the professionals within it are benefiting or getting value.
My name is Khethelo. We are in Sandton Business Analytics Summit. It's all about how to build a successful enterprise. Spoke to some of the delegates and the speakers. Take a listen. I'm with Khethelo, President of the IIBA South Africa chapter. Welcome to the show, Khethelo.
Thank you so much, Khethelo, for having me.
Tell us more about some of your success projects and what you're currently doing right now with IIBA.
Okay. So IIBA is the International Institute of Business Analysis, and it's a professional association that's focused on promoting and supporting the profession of business analysis. So our projects revolve around promoting and supporting the discipline of business analysis. So we work on initiatives like mentorship programs. So if you're looking for or you need a mentor to help you in your business analysis journey, we offer that program. We offer study groups if you're about to certify for one of the many certifications, accreditations that IIBA South Africa has. We also offer you with those certification programs, or should I say, IIBA offers the certification programs, and then IIBA South Africa also assists with study groups. So you're not alone through that journey, because it can get a bit tough sometimes. If you're doing it alone, you need support, you need structure, you need someone who's in it with you. So we offer those. We've got what we call tools and technique sessions. So our tools and technique sessions we have them every Thursday. They're free of charge. You join in and you get to understand the tools and the techniques that are required in order to succeed in your role as a business analyst. We've got our more focused groups or focus sessions, which are our master classes. So those, we've got these industry experts who come in for an hour, 30 minutes at most, maybe 2 hours, and they really infuse, a lot of the knowledge that you would need to succeed in your role as a business analyst. We offer more skills development sessions or one-on-ones as well if you do need. We've got a professional development head and a membership head as well, who helps a lot with, speaking to people one-on-one. People who have questions like, I'd love to transition into being a business analyst. What is it before I even do this? And then he, answers those questions and helps people to understand better about the role and how they can transition into the role. And then those that are in the role, how they can move into, senior positions within the role. So there's a lot of offerings. I think I've just mentioned a few. The one that we have now is the Summit. It's also one of the programs that we do offer. We do offer the actual summit at a discounted rate for our members, but non-members are more than welcome. We actually would love to host as many people as we possibly can. So they're also more than welcome to attend. This year's summit, we've got over 30, industry experts, industry leaders, thought leaders. They'll be speaking on many, many topics, that are very pertinent and very relevant in the role of a business analyst. We are hosting it now in Sandton at the Hilton Hotel. We're hosting it from today, the 4th, so the 3rd of October until the 5th of October, and we have different tracks. So you're more than welcome to, find your way into the different rooms, and there's jam-packed with a lot of information about business analysis and how you can advance your career in this specific discipline and how you can be the best at it. That's just some, but there's many others that I may not have mentioned that IIBA does. For us, it's your home for business analysis. You'll find everything that you need around business analysis in this home.
Awesome. You must be a tough one yourself. I mean, like, what does it take to be president of this organization? Because it's a pretty huge organization. And, I've really been impressed, listening to the speakers, the whole organization.
Yeah.
What does it take to run this ship?
Blood, sweat, and tears.
Yeah.
No, maybe not that extreme. So for me, what I think it takes is, you have to be a volunteer at heart. You really have to be passionate, about giving back to the community. That's one of the things that I think I'll attribute to my sustainability in this specific industry, in this organization as well. Then passion. You really have to be passionate about what you're doing, and it has to come naturally. There's no one that's going to infuse it in you. It has to come from you. It has to come naturally. Your willingness to learn. You have to be adaptable. You must be willing to learn and grow, because it is a leadership development. I think there is leadership development in it as well. So being able to learn is extremely important, because then you're actually able to adjust your ways into making sure that the profession and even the professionals within it are benefiting or getting value. I think also a passion for people and developing the people as well. So you must really love them and love for them to succeed, because a lot of the programs that you offer enable people to succeed in what they do. So you have to love them enough and care for their future and their growth, the professional future and their professional growth, so much so that, the programs that you work on focus largely on that. You have to have time for people as well. People will have sometimes personal issues that are unrelated to what you're doing. But you must lend that ear, because at the end of the day, we're all in this human journey together. And if we can just help each other navigate it better, that makes a whole lot of it makes the world a better place.
What is leadership? Because I think every leader has their own definition.
True.
What is leadership to you? What does it mean to you?
Chad, you're asking me good questions, very tough questions. So leadership for me is serving. If I had to pin it down to one thing, it's serving, being able to serve. When you're able to serve, you are a leader. Leaders are not necessarily served, they serve. And leading is not always from the front, so you don't need to be standing there and leading from the front and pulling people behind you. Sometimes you could be leading from the back and they're actually in the front. And you're just making sure that you're guiding and directing, that they're still on the right track. But I think to sum it all up, I'd take it back to serving. It's being of service to people, listening attentively to their needs, and working really hard to meet their needs. I think if you can do that, you can be a leader in any position that you're in, at any title that you're at. You don't necessarily have to change your title to CEO or president or what have you. As long as you're serving, already there you are a leader.
What will make this term successful with IIBA?
Wow, okay, so what will make the term a success for me? I think being able to serve well, being able to serve the community well, and they would have to give us feedback, right? So that's how we'd know they're being served well. So being able to hear, feedback or reports from them to say, I was stuck in a horrible spot in my life, and I attended, a few of the sessions. I joined as a member of IIBA, and my life changed. It really changed for the better. Now I'm more stable in my career, my family life is settled, etc., etc., etc. Whatever it is that they value, if there's outcomes or good outcomes from having been part of IIBA as a volunteer, as a member, as a sponsor, in any of those value chains, as long as you're part of the IIBA community, if you feel that your life has changed for the better, I think that will be one thing that we've done right in our term. I don't want to say my term alone, because we've got a whole board as well that supports the structure of IIBA and the initiatives around IIBA. Growing membership value, growing benefit for the people, and making sure that they advance their I'd even include personal, actually. I tend to focus on the professional life, but what I've come to find is that these things work together. You can't divorce the two. You can't say I'm only focused on my professional life right now and I'm not going to focus on my personal life, because funny enough, if you only focus on the one, the others will be compromised, and even the one you were focusing on will not, bear the fruit you had intended. So it's important to then, in this case, focus on both if you can. Focus on both your professional and on your personal life, because they work together. They enhance each other.
What are you excited about in your space right now?
Sure, there's a lot that I'm excited about in my space. I think a large portion of it is digitization. I think the COVID pandemic accelerated that. So a lot of what we used to do, and not just IIBA as an organization, I'm talking about corporates as well. A lot of what they did had, some manual and I'd say manual and monotonous work around it. And post-COVID, a lot has changed. We've had to digitize, we've had to, make things faster, slicker, more nimble, more agile. So that's really, really exciting. People are able to work from home, people are able to do things that could never do. There's just accelerated benefits and accelerated value, there's accelerated great outcomes for organizations and individuals. So that really, really keeps me excited. From an IIBA perspective, I think what really, really keeps me excited is the continuous learning of our members, the continuous learning of our volunteers, the continuous learning of the people that are part of the community. Because in the fast-paced world that we're in, continuous learning becomes a non-negotiable. It's mandatory. Because things are changing every day. Today you are doing it one way, tomorrow you're doing it another way. And if you're not keeping up with those changes, it starts to affect, the output that you deliver. So I'm really, really excited about the fact that we are focused on continuous learning for our members and people who are, exposed or part of our community.
Yes, President. We are very passionate about the youth. The youth needs us. The youth needs us. We cannot ignore the youth, and we have to continuously not give up on them. Please talk to the youth in this country. Any words of advice, maybe from what you've learned from your experience.
Wow. Okay. You're right. I think the youth needs us, and I'd also like to say we need the youth. Because the youth is the future, So we really, it's a symbiotic relationship. We need each other. There's a lot I can say to the youth.
They're starting out, the entrepreneurs, they seek to know direction.
Yes.
All those things, how to focus.
Exactly.
Now, this social media age, what I'm saying? Like, it's so much to do. It's information overload.
Exactly.
So things like that. Sometimes it just take the most basic of advice, like to say, okay, you need to just pick a lane and go this way.
Exactly. You've answered my question so well. You've answered it already.
Yeah.
So I think you've touched on things that I think the youth are suffering with. They're really easily distracted by social media and many other distractions that come along. And distraction is really the number one, it will stop your progress. Distraction is the enemy of progress. So if you can eliminate what distracts you, you're already a step ahead of the rest. And in order to eliminate what distracts you, you need to know that it's a distraction. So I think the youth of South Africa, and I wouldn't expand it actually, Africa and even the world, they need to really be aware of their goals and set them down, put their goals down, put it down on a piece of paper, write it down, know your vision, know what you're planning for your future. And then what will it take to get there? Have an idea. You don't need to know everything. Have a map of where you'll need to, the route that you need to take to get there. And then have a timeline as well of how, or when you want to get to where you want to get to. And then very key critical is what you've already answered, those distractions. Find a way to eliminate them. It's hard work sometimes. I'll say it myself. It's hard work to eliminate those distractions. Letting go of the social media platforms that we're on. We're on Twitter, we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on all of them. And they do consume our time. So if you can cap that, if you can cap it to say, I will, yeah, I'll watch it, but I'll cap it to a certain time. That's one. And then the other thing is believe in your dreams. Believe in them because they are valid. They really are valid. And be patient with them. They may not necessarily be realized in the time you had envisioned, but be patient with them. Keep going, keep going, keep going. You'll realize that the people who have succeeded, it wasn't linear, their success. If they had to tell you their story, you'd actually understand that.
Appreciate it.
You'd appreciate it. You'd appreciate the story. You'd appreciate the struggle that you are currently going through.
Embrace the struggle.
Embrace the struggle. You'll realize that actually they struggle too. Just because they're not talking about it every day, because they're now talking about the success story. Now they've succeeded and they've become number one at this and this, and that's what we hear on. That's what makes headlines. They actually did go through some challenges. They did go through some struggles, but they rose above them. So it's very, very important as the youth to not be despondent and to lose hope because of those struggles, whatever they may be. Whatever they may be. Could be financial struggles, could be emotional struggles, could be mental. I mean, there are many things that people are facing in this world today. But when you actually realize that those struggles are not necessarily going to stop you, or they do not have to stop you from achieving what you need to achieve, then you keep going at it. You keep going at it. And one day you'll be the success story. And no one will believe you when you tell them, I struggled so hard to get here. But the one or two who are still struggling will be inspired to keep going because...
when the baby is there, the excitement, you forget the pains.
You put it very well. You put it very well. You completely forget.
What do you hope our delegates take home from this summit?
I think for me, there's a lot they can take home, but if I had to summarize it into maybe one or two things, it would be that IIBA is here for them. They don't need to do it alone at all. If they're struggling at work and unable to deliver for whatever reason, we've got a community. We've got a WhatsApp group. You can pop a question there. I'm stuck. What is root cause analysis? Help me quickly. I'm asked in a meeting. And the response is there because the community is big. The community is big and there's always someone that's going to be willing to help you. So do not go at this life alone. There's absolutely no need for you to struggle alone when there's a community of people who are more than willing to assist you. So that's one. Then the other thing I think would be that they role as a business analyst, and even outside of business analysis, their role can shape or shift or take the future to the next level. And they need to take that, responsibility, and they need to take their role also seriously to say, where I'm at right now, I could change the world. I think Danelkis mentioned it. She said you can change the world. So they have to believe, in what they do. They have to believe in their deliverables, that it has the potential to change the world. And it's not just, a drop in the ocean or just the tip of the iceberg. It's a big deal, and they need to take it as such. And they need to work at it in pursuing excellence and delivering great value to their clients and customers and even their families.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen, El Presidente, Khethelo.
Thank you, Khethelo, for having me.
Yes, awesome. Welcome to the boardroom. I'm your host, Ntlalo. Today I'm sitting with Danelkis from the US at the Business Analytics Summit. Danelkis, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Please tell us more about what you do.
So I have the pleasure and the honor of being Chapter Operations Manager at the International Institute of Business Analysis. So I get to manage about 1,000 volunteers throughout the world. I have 120 chapters, and our whole goal is to create better outcomes, create an awareness of our profession so that we could help others throughout the world have an easier, streamlined organization.
Tell us more about these services that you offer, also what you seek to achieve with this summit.
Oh, this summit is amazing. At a higher level, from a global perspective, again, it's always creating that awareness. We have a body of knowledge where it's a guide to help our practitioners be able to perform their jobs at a more elite, higher level. And this body of knowledge also, we have a certification for it. So you could either be a certified business analysis professional. We also have specialized in agility or cybersecurity. We have product ownership. So that way it's not prescriptive, because we never want to say do your job in this form, but it gives you that structure and the techniques behind being able to, again, be better at our goals. And what I love about our local chapters is that each chapter has a community and a flavor to it. So we help coach and mentor them so that they have monthly events or weekly events. They have networking. They have just informational. They'll bring in speakers. For instance, with this summit, they've done, our team here, our local team in South Africa has done an amazing job bringing in international speakers. So you get knowledge not just from each other within the community, but globally as well. So that hopefully will bring in techniques and knowledge that can elevate your community locally. And at the same time, our participants get to network with each other. They meet the right people, get their foot in the door, help each other with different situations. So it's really about creating community in the business analysis spectrum.
Awesome. Your presentation, bring me into your presentation. What were some of your key focus areas?
I had an amazing workshop this morning.
Yes.
And I was a little intimidated, I'm not gonna lie. It was like there was a lot of intelligent people in the room, and I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm bringing to the table and offering. But it was mainly on communication. So the foundation of everything we do is building a relationship and having good communication. If we don't have a positive outlook and outcome, it's very difficult for a business analyst to have all the right questions and being able to elicit the information we need to find the solutions. So we were talking about different personality types, who you are, who your stakeholders are. How do I work with you once I figure out the type of person you are? Because I might like to, I don't know, be more assertive or be more colorful. I'm a little crazy sometimes, but my audience might be a little more serious. So how do we accommodate to each other so that I make it comfortable for you to share with me what your needs are, so we could work on it together and find a solution. So that was a lot of what my talk was about. We also had a little bit of dancing, because I heard here everybody likes to dance and there's high energy. So I brought some of my salsa merengue from Florida over here, and we taught a couple of steps. That was fun. And I think that's part of what's special about South Africa is the energy. There's a lot of conferences I go to, and this is what really, that unity and that energy just takes it to the next level. And it's exciting.
I love it. Some of the exciting projects that you currently enrolling in right now.
So for me, projects are my chapters. So it's all about giving Khethelo the tools that she needs so that she could build her chapter leaders, so we could build the community together. So it's a little bit of flavors of everything. I could say as a project, we have some ladies that are visiting from Kenya that are going to get a chapter up and running over there as well. So it's making sure that they're confident and they feel welcomed, and the entire team has done an amazing job making them feel welcome. So I get to sit back and say, great job, team, makes my job easier. And it's, again, just giving the tools and the energy to keep it going. That a conference is not just this week, but it's what happens next week. What is the next event and session that you're going to come and attend? Like, don't let it end here. Keep it going.
Yes, awesome. What does the future look like? What I mean to ask is, how do you build a successful enterprise in this space right now? I mean, post-pandemic, a lot of things have happened. What are still some of the basics that business people ought to stick to those human factors that don't really change, if I should say it like.
So you nailed it right there with what you just said with the human factors. I think for the past couple of years, everybody's been worried about COVID. Our stress levels, whether we realize it or not, have shifted. Our way of doing work has shifted. I know many people are working from home. Some are starting to go back into the office. And for a long time, because we've been hiding behind technology, whether it's on phone calls or on video calls, a lot of us either don't have the bandwidth or the capacity to have our videos on. We lose that human aspect of it. And our businesses, I think, thrive when you have that human component, because it's not just about making the numbers, it's not just about making the money or finding solutions, it's how am I gonna make your life easier? What day-to-day activity can I help you change so that you enjoy being in the office, you enjoy your job, or if it's your own business, so that your business is more successful. But it's only going to be successful if you're happy at what you're doing and if you're successful. So it's finding those interactions, creating those relationships. For us as business analysis professionals, it's digging down to, you might tell us you need something, but when we have that conversation, what our goal is to find out what you actually need and value. What's that value that you're seeking? Because you might ask for one thing and it's something totally different than the value that that's going to make a difference for you and the whole organization. And that's our main piece, is finding that value piece. And we're only going to do it if we have good relationships.
Just to wrap it up, lastly, I just want to why do you wake up every day? Why are you in business?
Oh, I love that question.
Yes.
I change lives. I don't just work to get a paycheck. I don't work just to feed myself. I truly enjoy what I do. And it's mainly because my whole purpose is to find better solutions for you. And I take it to the next level. By finding a better solution for you, that might help you get home quicker. If it helps you get home quicker or happier, because you're not frustrated with your day-to-day, so you're hopefully in a better perspective, a better mood, you get back to your family quicker, then hopefully your family will also have a positive impact. So it's that trickle effect of one person at a time, one initiative at a time. I'm changing the world. I'm hopefully making it a better place, because I might have given you a report that saved you hours of work. You get home happier, your family is happier, happy wife, happy life, happy kids. So hopefully that, I just look at it bigger than just a job. And with my role, I get to coach others that are gonna coach others. So it's this huge trickle effect.
As a coach also, talk to the young people. South Africa has a lot of young people. They might be unemployed, they might be trying to find their way in business, getting into entrepreneurship. Give them some advice, from your years of experience, what you have learned, what works, what to major on.
I love that question. And can I talk to your audience directly for a minute?
Please.
We just met and I feel like you've known exactly what we do, and like you're asking me just all the right questions, because the message I want to say, you're amazing, by the way, at your job.
Yes.
Because my one advice to anyone in any profession, become involved with your local chapter. And the reason why I'm saying it, become involved with the IIBA South Africa chapter, regardless of what profession you're going to go into. And the reason why I say that is because what we do on a day-to-day, what our techniques are, could be in any industry, in anything that you do, because our sole purpose is to create better relationships, to find better outcomes, to see things from somebody else's perspective. And if you think about that, regardless if you want to go into dentistry, if you want to be a doctor, if you want to be a researcher, if you just want to be a mom and stay home and help your kids, the way that we do our techniques and our process and the way we think helps you in every aspect of life. And then by becoming involved with your local chapter, first of all, you're giving back, you're also learning, you're creating relationships that whenever you need, you're frustrated, you have a situation that you want to brainstorm with someone, you have a team that's a safe place to brainstorm with. Or if you're looking for your next job, now you know somebody on the inside that could help you, introduce you to the right person, or could just, turn around and give your CV or your resume to somebody, or just mention, hey, I met this person. They seem like a nice person. Because personality and relationships really go a long way. Techniques you could teach, skills you could teach. You can't teach passion. And someone that becomes involved with their local chapter and gives back and helps, and some people feel like, well, I don't have anything to give. You do. Just by being there and asking questions, somebody else in the room is going to be listening. And there's so much to offer by just being a part of your community. So awesome. I'm telling you, you asked the perfect questions. So congratulations to you on your role.
Yeah, thank you so much. Good to have you. Nice
it was a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
So much. Yes. My name is Khethelo. We were at the Business Analytics Summit. The message is learn, 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 improve and grow. It's the boardroom.